Happiness is a pursuit we all share, yet sometimes it feels elusive. We find ourselves trapped in patterns of thinking that hinder our joy and fulfillment. In this video, we will explore the wisdom of Miyamoto Musashi, a legendary swordsman and philosopher, on how to avoid common mind traps that can lead to unhappiness. By exploring and understanding these mind traps, we can liberate ourselves from self-imposed limitations and cultivate a more joyful and purposeful life. Trap 1. I feel like I have no value. We live in a world that often measures our worth based on external factors such as wealth, success, or social status. This societal conditioning can lead us to believe that our value as individuals is contingent upon these external markers. However, this trap of equating our worth with external achievements is a recipe for discontent and unhappiness. Miyamoto Musashi warns us against falling into the trap of believing that our value is determined by these external measures. He invites us to recognize that our true value comes from within ourselves, from our inherent qualities and unique essence. When we feel like we have no value, we are essentially dismissing the essence of who we are as individuals. This negative belief can stem from various sources such as past failures, societal comparisons, or personal insecurities. It creates a self-perpetuating cycle of self-doubt and low self-esteem, making it challenging to break free from this destructive mindset. To overcome this trap, we must first acknowledge that our value is not tied to what we do or how others perceive us. Our worth is intrinsic and unchanging, rooted in our humanity and the qualities that make us who we are. By recognizing and honoring our inherent value, we can begin to shift our perspective and cultivate a sense of self-appreciation and self-acceptance. Self-worth is not something that can be given or taken away by external circumstances. It is a fundamental aspect of our being that remains constant regardless of our external circumstances. When we recognize this truth, we free ourselves from the need for external validation and approval. We no longer rely on achievements or accolades to define our worth, but instead, we draw from our own inner resources of self-love and self-respect. Miyamoto Musashi reminds us that true happiness stems from embracing our intrinsic value and living authentically from that place of self-assurance. When we recognize our worth, we approach life with a sense of confidence and purpose, unshaken by external challenges or setbacks. We become less susceptible to the opinions of others and more attuned to our own inner compass, guiding us towards fulfillment and contentment. Cultivating a sense of self-worth requires practice and awareness. It involves challenging negative self-talk, practicing self-care, and surrounding ourselves with people who uplift and support us. By nurturing our self-esteem and recognizing our inherent value, we empower ourselves to live authentically and joyfully. Remember that you are worthy and deserving of love, respect, and happiness simply because you exist. Your value is not contingent on external achievements or the opinions of others. Embrace your uniqueness, honor your worth, and walk through life with the confidence of knowing that you are enough just as you are. Trust in your inherent value and watch as true happiness blossoms from within. Trap 2. I don't belong. Feeling like you don't belong can sometimes feel like being trapped in a suffocating bubble, cut off from the rest of the world. It's a sensation that many people experience at different points in their lives, whether it be in social settings, at work, or even within their own families. This sense of not fitting in can lead to a myriad of negative emotions, from loneliness and sadness to anxiety and self-doubt. When you feel like you don't belong, it can be challenging to see beyond the walls you've built around yourself. It's like wearing a mask that conceals your true self, preventing others from truly seeing you for who you are. This facade can be exhausting to maintain as you struggle to fit in and be accepted by those around you. One of the greatest traps of feeling like you don't belong is the belief that you are fundamentally different from others, that there is something inherently wrong with you that sets you apart from the rest of society. This harmful mindset can lead to a cycle of negative self-talk and self-isolation, as you convince yourself that you are unworthy of connection and belonging. However, the truth is that the feeling of not belonging is often just an illusion, a trick of the mind that distorts your perception of reality. In reality, we are all interconnected, woven together by the threads of our shared humanity. Each of us has a unique story to tell, a distinctive voice to share with the world. By embracing your authentic self and opening yourself up to others, you can break free from the confines of this mental trap and discover the beauty of belonging. Miyamoto Musashi's wisdom reminds us that true happiness is found in the warmth of genuine relationships and the support of a caring community. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable and connect with others on a deeper level, you create bonds that are rooted in authenticity and understanding. These connections serve as a lifeline, guiding you out of the darkness of isolation and into the light of belonging. To overcome the trap of feeling like you don't belong, it's essential to practice self-compassion and self-acceptance. Begin by acknowledging and embracing your uniqueness, recognizing that your differences are what make you special. Instead of trying to fit into a mold created by societal norms and expectations, celebrate your individuality and let your light shine brightly. Moreover, it's crucial to reach out to others and build meaningful relationships based on trust, empathy, and respect. Surround yourself with people who uplift and support you, who see you for who you truly are, and embrace you with open arms. By fostering these genuine connections, you create a sense of belonging that transcends superficial boundaries and unites souls in a tapestry of shared experiences. Remember that feeling like you don't belong is a temporary state of mind, a passing cloud that obscures the sun but cannot extinguish its light. Through introspection, gratitude, and a willingness to connect with others authentically, you can break free from this mental trap and bask in the warmth of belonging. You are a valuable part of the intricate web of humanity, deserving of love, acceptance, and belonging. Trap 3. I can get whatever I want. The trap of believing that we can get whatever we want is a common pitfall that many people fall into. This mindset stems from a culture that promotes instant gratification and a relentless pursuit of material possessions. We are bombarded daily with messages that suggest we can acquire anything we desire if we just work hard enough or have the right resources. However, this belief often leads to disappointment and a never-ending quest for more. When we convince ourselves that we can obtain anything we want, we set ourselves up for failure. Life is unpredictable and often throws challenges our way that are beyond our control. No matter how diligent we are or how much effort we put in, there will always be factors outside of our influence that can derail our plans. By clinging to the notion that we are entitled to everything we desire, we create unrealistic expectations that can never be fully realized. Miyamoto Musashi warns against this fallacy and encourages us to find contentment within ourselves rather than in external sources. True happiness, he argues, does not come from amassing material goods or fulfilling every whim. Instead, it stems from accepting life as it is and finding fulfillment in the present moment. This requires a shift in perspective away from the incessant need for more and towards a deep appreciation for what we already have. The Japanese philosophy of wabi-sabi offers valuable insights into this mindset. Wabi-sabi is rooted in the acceptance of imperfection and impermanence, recognizing the beauty in things that are simple, modest, and transient. It teaches us to embrace the flaws and limitations of existence, understanding that perfection is an unattainable ideal. By embracing wabi-sabi, we can learn to appreciate the inherent beauty in life's imperfections and find joy in the ebb and flow of existence. When we let go of the belief that we can get whatever we want, we free ourselves from the burden of constant striving and craving. Instead of chasing after external validations or material possessions, we can turn our focus inward and cultivate a sense of inner peace and contentment. By shifting our perspective towards gratitude and acceptance, we can find happiness in the simplicity of everyday experiences and the richness of human connection. By recognizing the limitations of our control and embracing the beauty of imperfection, we can free ourselves from this trap and discover a more authentic and sustainable source of fulfillment. True happiness lies not in the pursuit of external desires, but in the cultivation of inner contentment and appreciation for life's inherent beauty. Trap 4. I feel like a failure. The fear of failure and the sense of inadequacy can cast a shadow over our aspirations and ambitions, hindering our pursuit of happiness and fulfillment. Miyamoto Musashi reminds us that setbacks and challenges are integral parts of the journey towards mastery and self-improvement. By adopting a growth mindset and viewing failures as valuable learning opportunities, we can cultivate resilience and perseverance that propel us towards our goals. True happiness stems from the resilience to bounce back from adversity and the courage to embrace challenges as stepping stones to success. Our society often places a significant emphasis on success, portraying it as the ultimate goal to strive for. From a young age, we are taught to equate success with worth and value, instilling in us a deep-seated fear of failure. This fear can be paralyzing, causing us to doubt our abilities and hesitate to take risks. It can lead us to believe that any misstep or setback is a reflection of our inadequacy, crushing our self-esteem and confidence. When we fall into the trap of feeling like a failure, we tend to magnify our mistakes and shortcomings, overlooking our strengths and accomplishments. We become fixated on the idea that success should come easily and effortlessly, and any deviation from this expectation is seen as a personal flaw. This negative mindset can prevent us from taking risks and pursuing our dreams, trapping us in a cycle of self-doubt and self-criticism. Miyamoto Musashi's wisdom urges us to break free from this destructive pattern of thinking and embrace failure as an essential part of the journey towards growth and self-improvement. He reminds us that setbacks are not signs of weakness, but opportunities for learning and growth. Every failure is a stepping stone on the path to mastery, offering valuable lessons that can propel us forward towards our goals. By shifting our perspective and viewing failure as a natural and necessary part of the process, we can cultivate resilience and perseverance that will serve us well in the face of adversity. Rather than seeing failure as a final judgment on our abilities, we can see it as a temporary setback that provides valuable feedback and insights. With each failure, we gain new knowledge and experience that brings us closer to success. True happiness does not come from avoiding failure at all costs, but from developing the inner strength and courage to face challenges head-on. It means being willing to risk failure in pursuit of our goals, knowing that each setback is an opportunity for growth and development. By reframing our relationship with failure and embracing it as a natural part of the learning process, we can unlock our full potential and achieve greater happiness and fulfillment in our lives. By cultivating a growth mindset and viewing failure as an opportunity for growth and self-discovery, we can break free from the trap of feeling like a failure and embrace a future filled with possibilities. Trap 5. Nothing is ever good enough. In our modern society, the trap of never feeling like anything is good enough is a common struggle that many people face. Whether it's in our personal relationships, career goals, physical appearances, or any other aspect of life. There's a pervasive sense of constantly falling short of some unreachable standard. This mindset can be extremely detrimental to our mental and emotional well-being, leading to feelings of inadequacy, low self-esteem, and overall dissatisfaction with our lives. Miyamoto Musashi recognized the insidious nature of this trap and its ability to rob us of true happiness and fulfillment. He believed that the key to breaking free from this cycle of never feeling like anything is good enough lies in cultivating self-acceptance and self-love. Musashi understood that true happiness stems from embracing our flaws and imperfections rather than striving for an unattainable ideal of perfection. One of the primary reasons why we fall into the trap of never feeling like anything is good enough is due to the pervasive culture of comparison that exists in our society. With the rise of social media and the constant bombardment of curated images of seemingly perfect lives, it's all too easy to measure our own worth against the highlight reels of others. This comparison mindset only serves to reinforce our feelings of inadequacy and fuels the belief that we will never measure up to the standards set by others. The relentless pursuit of perfection can also stem from internal pressures and unrealistic expectations that we place on ourselves. Whether it's striving for a flawless appearance, an impeccable performance at work, or flawless relationships, the never-ending quest for perfection can leave us perpetually dissatisfied with ourselves and our lives. This cycle of self-criticism and self-doubt can create a negative feedback loop that hinders our ability to find true happiness and contentment. To break free from the trap of never feeling like anything is good enough, it's essential to shift our mindset and embrace a more compassionate and accepting attitude towards ourselves. This begins with practicing self-compassion and recognizing that we are all imperfect human beings with our own unique set of strengths and weaknesses. Instead of focusing on our perceived flaws and shortcomings, we can choose to celebrate our individuality and appreciate the journey that has led us to where we are today. Additionally, it's important to reassess our definition of success and happiness and question whether our current standards are truly serving our well-being. Rather than chasing after external markers of achievement or validation, we can turn inward and focus on cultivating a sense of inner peace and self-worth. By shifting our perspective from external validation to internal fulfillment, we can liberate ourselves from the endless cycle of comparison and perfectionism. By breaking free from the shackles of unrealistic expectations and learning to love ourselves unconditionally, we can experience a deep sense of fulfillment and satisfaction that transcends the temporary highs of external validation. Trap 6. I have trouble trusting others. Developing trust in others is a crucial aspect of human relationships. It is the foundation upon which healthy, lasting connections are built. However, for some individuals, trusting others can be a daunting challenge. This hesitancy to trust can stem from a variety of factors such as past experiences of betrayal, fear of vulnerability, or a general sense of skepticism towards others. When someone falls into this trap of having trouble trusting others, it can lead to a sense of isolation, loneliness, and difficulty in forming deep, meaningful connections. Trust is like a bridge that connects individuals, allowing them to share their thoughts, feelings, and experiences openly and without fear. Without this bridge, people may find themselves trapped in a cycle of mistrust, unable to fully engage with others in a genuine and authentic way. Miyamoto Musashi believed that true strength lies not in isolation or mistrust, but in the ability to be vulnerable and open with others. Musashi understood that by embracing our vulnerabilities and allowing ourselves to trust, We invite deeper connections and richer experiences into our lives. To overcome this trap, individuals must first examine the root causes of their difficulty in trusting others. Often, past traumas or negative experiences can shape our perception of trust and influence our ability to form new relationships. By addressing these underlying issues and working through any lingering fears or insecurities, individuals can begin to cultivate a healthier relationship with trust. Building trust is a gradual process that requires patience, empathy, and a willingness to be vulnerable. It involves taking small steps towards opening up to others, sharing personal experiences, and actively listening to their perspectives. By practicing active communication and demonstrating authenticity, individuals can gradually build trust with those around them. It is essential to remember that trust is a two-way street. Just as individuals seek to trust others, they must also be trustworthy themselves. Honesty, reliability, and consistency are key components of earning the trust of others. By demonstrating these qualities in their interactions, individuals can create a safe and supportive environment where trust can flourish. In cultivating trust, it is important to acknowledge that no relationship is without risk. Trust inherently involves a degree of vulnerability, as it requires individuals to place their faith in others and hope for the best outcome. While there is always a chance of betrayal or disappointment, the rewards of trusting others often outweigh the risks. True intimacy, connection, and happiness are only possible when individuals are willing to take that leap of faith and open their hearts to others. By embracing trust as a fundamental aspect of human relationships, individuals can break free from the confines of this trap and experience the transformative power of genuine connection. Trust is the glue that binds individuals together, creating a sense of solidarity, support, and understanding. When we trust others, we invite them into our inner world, sharing our joys, sorrows, and vulnerabilities without fear of judgment or rejection. By confronting our fears, addressing past traumas, and practicing vulnerability, individuals can overcome the barriers to trust and embark on a journey towards deeper connections and greater happiness. Miyamoto Musashi's wisdom reminds us that true strength lies in the ability to trust others and be open to the beauty of human connection. By embracing trust as a guiding principle in our interactions, we can pave the way for more meaningful, authentic, and enriching relationships in our lives. Trap 7. I feel like I need to be perfect. In the journey of life, many of us fall into the trap of believing that we must be flawless in everything we do. This harmful mindset becomes a burden that weighs heavily on our shoulders, causing stress, anxiety, and dissatisfaction. We set incredibly high standards for ourselves, often unattainable, and harshly criticize any perceived imperfections. The belief that perfection is the only path to success becomes a relentless pursuit, overshadowing our achievements and overshadowing our happiness. Perfectionism can manifest in various aspects of our lives, from work and relationships to personal goals and hobbies. We may feel the constant need to excel in every task, comparing ourselves to idealized standards set by society or even ourselves. This mindset creates a never-ending cycle of self-criticism and self-doubt, as we are never satisfied with our efforts, no matter how significant they may be. The fear of failure looms large, paralyzing us from taking risks and exploring new opportunities. Miyamoto Musashi teaches us a valuable lesson about the futility of chasing perfection. He understood that true mastery is not about achieving flawlessness, but about continual growth and self-discovery. Musashi's approach to combat was not focused on being flawless in every move, but on adapting to the ever-changing circumstances of battle and learning from each encounter. His philosophy emphasizes the importance of embracing imperfection as a natural part of the learning process. When we recognize that perfection is an unattainable ideal, we can free ourselves from the shackles of self-imposed expectations. Instead of striving for perfection, we can shift our focus towards progress and personal growth. By adopting a growth mindset, we open ourselves to new experiences and challenges, allowing ourselves to learn from our mistakes and failures. Embracing imperfection as an essential part of our journey enables us to appreciate our strengths and weaknesses, leading to a deeper sense of self-awareness and self-acceptance. The quest for perfection often leads to an endless cycle of comparison with others, fostering feelings of inadequacy and unworthiness. We may feel pressured to meet external standards of success and achievement, seeking validation from others rather than from within. This external validation becomes a fleeting source of satisfaction as we are constantly seeking approval and affirmation from others. True happiness, however, comes from within, from accepting ourselves as we are, flaws and all, and finding joy in the process of growth and self-improvement. By breaking free from the illusion of perfection, we can create space for authenticity and vulnerability in our lives. We can embrace our imperfections as unique traits that make us who we are, celebrating our individuality and resilience. Cultivating self-compassion and self-love allows us to treat ourselves with kindness and understanding, recognizing that we are worthy of acceptance and forgiveness. By releasing the burden of perfectionism and embracing our imperfections, we can foster a sense of freedom and authenticity in our lives. True happiness lies in the acceptance of ourselves as imperfect beings on a journey of growth and discovery. Trap 8. I never make mistakes. In our journey towards happiness and self-realization, one of the most insidious traps we can fall into is the belief that we never make mistakes. This mindset, rooted in a deep-seated fear of failure and a need to maintain an image of perfection, can have detrimental effects on our personal growth and overall well-being. Miyamoto Musashi cautions us against the dangers of this trap, emphasizing the importance of acknowledging our fallibility and embracing our mistakes as opportunities for learning and growth. We may convince ourselves that admitting to mistakes is a sign of weakness or failure, leading us to avoid challenges or risks that could potentially result in errors. However, this fear-based mentality ultimately hinders our progress and limits our potential for growth and self-improvement. Mistakes, far from being something to be ashamed of, are an essential part of the learning process. When we adopt a mindset that welcomes and learns from mistakes, we open ourselves up to valuable opportunities for self-discovery and improvement. Each misstep or error presents a chance to reflect on our choices, actions, and beliefs, allowing us to gain new insights and refine our approach to future challenges. By embracing our mistakes, we cultivate resilience and adaptability in the face of adversity. Rather than viewing errors as setbacks or failures, we can reframe them as stepping stones on the path to success. Every mistake is a chance to adjust our course, learn from our experiences, and move forward with greater wisdom and clarity. The fear of making mistakes can lead to a sense of stagnation and complacency in our lives. When we are so preoccupied with avoiding errors, we may shy away from pursuing our passions, taking risks, or stepping outside of our comfort zones. This self-imposed limitation can prevent us from realizing our full potential and experiencing the joy and fulfillment that come from pushing ourselves beyond our perceived limitations. In contrast, a willingness to make mistakes and learn from them is a hallmark of true growth and self-actualization. It requires courage and vulnerability to confront our imperfections and shortcomings, but the rewards are immeasurable. As we embrace our fallibility and recognize that mistakes are an integral part of the human experience, we free ourselves from the constraints of perfectionism and open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. Miyamoto Musashi's teachings underscore the importance of humility and self-awareness in cultivating a mindset that honors the value of mistakes. By acknowledging our imperfections and recognizing that we are all works in progress, we can approach challenges with a sense of curiosity and openness rather than fear and trepidation. Ultimately, the belief that I never make mistakes is a self-defeating illusion that robs us of the opportunity to learn, grow, and evolve as individuals. True happiness and fulfillment come not from perfection, but from the courage to embrace our mistakes, learn from them, and forge ahead with a deeper sense of purpose and authenticity as we navigate the complexities of life and strive towards our goals. Let us heed Musashi's wisdom and reject the trap of perfectionism. Let us celebrate our mistakes as valuable lessons on the path to self-discovery and happiness, embracing the journey with humility, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to growth. Trap 9. I don't deserve anything good. Living with the belief that we don't deserve anything good is a self-imposed trap that can prevent us from experiencing the fullness of life's joys. This negative mindset can seep into every aspect of our lives, coloring our interactions, decisions, and overall well-being. It is a barrier that we construct within ourselves, often rooted in past experiences, societal expectations, or comparisons with others that lead us to believe that we are fundamentally undeserving of happiness and good fortune. When we fall into the trap of thinking we don't deserve anything good, we sabotage our own potential for happiness and fulfillment. We may find ourselves stuck in patterns of self-sabotage, where we unconsciously reject opportunities for growth and joy because we feel unworthy of them. This can manifest in various ways, such as avoiding new experiences, not pursuing our passions, or settling for less than we deserve in relationships or work. The insidious nature of this trap lies in its ability to perpetuate feelings of shame, inadequacy, and self-doubt. We may engage in negative self-talk, berating ourselves for perceived shortcomings or mistakes, and internalizing a narrative that reinforces our belief in our unworthiness. This self-critical stance further erodes our self-esteem and diminishes our capacity to see ourselves as deserving of love, success, and happiness. To break free from the grip of this limiting belief, we must first acknowledge its presence and its detrimental impact on our well-being. Recognizing that we are caught in a cycle of self-denial and self-criticism is the first step toward reclaiming our sense of worthiness and deservingness. It requires courage and self-awareness to confront the underlying fears and insecurities that drive our belief that we are not deserving of anything good. Miyamoto Musashi's wisdom reminds us that true happiness is not something we earn or achieve through external validation or accomplishments. It is an intrinsic aspect of our being, a natural state of well-being that emerges when we cultivate self-compassion, self-acceptance, and gratitude for the blessings in our lives. By embracing our inherent worthiness and acknowledging our capacity to experience joy and fulfillment, we can begin to shift our mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance. Practicing self-compassion and self-care are essential tools in dismantling the belief that we don't deserve anything good. By treating ourselves with kindness, understanding, and gentle patience, we can start to challenge the negative self-perceptions that keep us trapped in feelings of unworthiness. Engaging in activities that nourish our mind, body, and soul, such as meditation, exercise, creative pursuits, or spending time in nature, can help foster a sense of self-worth and appreciation for the goodness within and around us. It is also important to reframe our perspective on deservingness and recognize that we are inherently worthy of love, happiness, and abundance simply by virtue of being alive. We do not need to prove our worth or meet certain criteria to be deserving of the good things that life has to offer. By shifting our focus from a mindset of lack and scarcity to one of abundance and possibility, we open ourselves up to a world of opportunities and blessings that were previously obscured by our limiting beliefs. In embracing our deservingness of all that is good, we affirm our inherent value as human beings and create space for greater happiness and fulfillment to flow into our lives. We no longer need to sabotage ourselves or hold ourselves back out of a misguided sense of unworthiness. Instead, we can step into our power and embrace the fullness of who we are, with all our strengths, flaws, and potential for growth. By letting go of the trap of thinking we don't deserve anything good, we liberate ourselves from self-imposed limitations and open ourselves up to the beauty and richness of life. We reclaim our right to happiness, joy, and abundance, knowing that we are worthy of all the good that comes our way. As we cultivate a deep sense of self-worth and acceptance, we create a foundation for authentic happiness that is grounded in our innate deservingness of all that is good and true. By recognizing our inherent worthiness, practicing self-compassion, and reframing our perspective on deservingness, we can break free from this negative mindset and embrace the abundance of blessings that life has to offer. True happiness unfolds when we acknowledge our deservingness of love, joy, and abundance, and allow ourselves to receive the goodness that surrounds us. By stepping into our worthiness, we empower ourselves to live fully and authentically, free from the shackles of self-doubt and unworthiness. So, the teachings of Miyamoto Musashi offer invaluable wisdom on how to navigate the intricate landscape of the mind and avoid common traps that can hinder our journey towards happiness and fulfillment. By recognizing and transcending these mind traps, we can cultivate a deep sense of self-awareness, resilience, and inner peace that form the cornerstone of a joyful and purposeful life. May we heed the lessons of Miyamoto Musashi and embark on a transformative journey towards true happiness and fulfillment.